Hello and welcome back to our 8th radio show. I think it's our 8th radio show.
It is our 8th.
It is our 8th on Radio HUD. I am Jake, as always, and joining me is Kezia.
Hello.
Hello. We are going to be discussing many things, as we always do this week. Just a little bit of admin before we start to remind you that for International Women's Day, which was Sunday, I believe.
Yes.
We are showing Greta Gerwig's film Lady Bird down in OA313 at 2:30. Snacks, as always, provided. If you want to bring your own snacks, of course, that is absolutely fine. I might grab some off you. The snacks are vegan, obviously, and drinks, and always. So, as always, our first section, I say as always, I feel like we sometimes change the order of these segments.
Sometimes, but not often.
Not often. I'm just going to move the microphone. Sorry about that if you're listening. Our first section, movies we've recently watched. So, Kezia, what movie have you recently watched?
For probably the 1 billionth time, I have watched Take the Lead. It's a dance film starring Antonio Banderas. It's from like the 90s, I think. I mean, I grew up watching this film all the time. I'm obsessed with it. And I'm someone who doesn't usually like dance films, like Step Up and all that. I hate them. But Take the Lead, I have always loved. It's based on a true story about the dancing classrooms in America, which is where like kids from like more disadvantaged areas and stuff in detentions, they would be taught ballroom dancing. And the film follows how that took off with Pierre Dulaine. And it's such a beautiful film, and it's really driven by the characters. It's not just about watching people dance, like you become invested in all of these different students and all of their lives. And it's a beautiful film with a fun soundtrack, and it's got Antonio Banderas, so watch it.
What more do you want?
Exactly, what more do you need?
Exactly, you know. He's the best part of the Shrek films. And that's saying something, considering how much we all love the Shrek films.
So yeah, a recommendation.
A definite recommendation.
Take the Lead. Brilliant.
Take the Lead. I have recently watched, for about the 7th time, the 2017 version of Murder on the Orient Express with Kenneth Branagh and
Johnny
Depp, Michelle Pfeiffer. It's got an amazing cast.
Yeah.
Leslie Odom Jr. from Hamilton. I've not watched Hamilton.
I've not seen it either.
But I think he's in there. Who else has been in it? Daisy Ridley.
Yes.
Josh Gad. Penelope Cruz.
A big cast of great people.
Dame Judi Dench. Icon that is Dame.
I remember
Judi
when
Dench.
I first watched that film, because I grew up on the David Suchet Poirot TV series. I'm talking, I've seen every single episode.
I can't bring myself to watch the last one because, like, you know,
that's very fair.
Spoilers.
But like, because I grew up on that, I was terrified of watching this new one. But it's actually so good.
It really is.
It's so good.
Kenneth Branagh is amazing.
He is. He's very good.
He doesn't try and copy David Suchet.
No, he makes Poirot his own.
That
which
mustache,
is very important. Oh God, that mustache.
That mustache is amazing. It is an iconic mustache.
It is.
But, you know, the basic plot, murder mystery, as always, it's a Poirot. Johnny Depp's character is killed on the train. Spoiler alert, it's called the Orient Express.
Oh my God, what? No.
Yeah, and guess what? There was a murder on it.
You're blowing my mind.
I know.
You're ruining all of the plot points,
I'm ruining the
Jake.
plot points. I know, sorry. Wait until you hear what Death on the Nile is about.
Is it a birthday party?
No, unfortunately not.
Damn it, I thought I was so close. But yeah, that is a good film.
Yes, it is a very good film.
Definitely a recommendation.
Definitely a recommendation.
It's very beautifully done.
Very beautifully shot.
Beautiful.
There are some, I think the final, it's not the final shot of the film, but the final shot of all the suspects sat at the table.
Yes.
Like,
amazing.
a bit like the shooting shot composition of The Last Summer.
Yeah.
Last Summer? Last Supper.
Yeah.
I'm thinking The Last of the Summer Wine here. I don't even know why.
I don't know either.
But The Last Supper, and with an amazing performance.
Yeah, I mean, if you're someone who likes a murder mystery or any kind of thriller,
Olivia Colman's in it as well.
That film is so good because it keeps you guessing constantly.
Yeah, even if you know the story, it's still amazing.
Yeah, until you actually get to the big reveal. If you don't know that story before, you are constantly thinking, who the hell did this?
Yeah, you're like, well, it could be this person.
Yeah,
but then, oh no, wait, but there's something that means that it can't be them.
Yeah, it's very... If you have no idea about, like, the plot, other than it's the Orient Express and someone gets murdered on it, I do recommend it. It is definitely something for when you want a film that stimulates your brain as well as just your eyeballs.
Yes.
It's so good.
Yeah. I mean, I'm a science student, and I'm still like, oh my god, the cinematography is amazing.
It is. It is a really beautiful film, regardless of what it is that you like about films, whether it's the visuals, the soundtrack, the actual plots, the acting. There is not a single thing in there that I can think to criticise.
No.
It is absolutely amazing.
The one very small thing is I think Michelle Pfeiffer was a bit weak. Compared to the other cast members.
Yeah, I can see that.
She was a little bit weak, which is surprising because Michelle Pfeiffer is an amazing actress.
Yeah.
So I was a bit surprised, but not to say that she's bad. There's no suspension of disbelief. It's just not necessarily her type of role.
Yeah, but I did find that quite refreshing that it was something different, though.
Oh yeah, they all sort of played a bit against type.
Yeah, and like when you've got a big film that's got all these big names in it, you often have a tendency for them to just rely on the big names and let that do all the work.
Yeah.
But I feel like they were really consciously going against that in that film. I feel like they were really thinking, we don't want to just have people come to see you play the same characters you're always doing. We need, like, the work in here. And it's beautiful.
It really
Definitely
is.
Watch it.
They are making a sequel. Ooh. They are making Death on the Nile.
Ooh.
Spoilers, it's about a bus party in Venice.
Oh, I knew it!
It's got some great cast members in it again. We need the 2020. Oh my god, it's going to be out in this year. It's going to be out this year.
Oh, wait, when is that coming out?
October 9th. Oh, hello.
I am excited for that.
So obviously Kenneth Branagh again, but then you've got Gal Gadot.
Don't ask me how to pronounce it. I'm
Wonder
sorry.
Woman. She plays Wonder Woman.
Yeah.
Armie Hammer.
Got Russell Brand apparently.
Russell Brand, Annette Bening, Jennifer Saunders, Dawn French, Letitia Wright from Black Panther, Sophie Okonedo, who is woefully underrated. If you haven't seen Hotel Rwanda, please do. You will cry. It's amazing. Have you seen it?
I think I saw parts of it. I don't think I ever actually got round to seeing the full film, but it is something I've got on my list.
It's in the same vein of films as Schindler's List and Mississippi Burning, that you have to watch the film. It's a very important film.
Yeah, but those are the films you have to be prepared for watching them as well.
12 Years a Slave. I've not watched 12 Years a Slave, but presumably it's in the same.
I've got it, but again, it's one of those films where, like, you got to do the emotional preparation beforehand because it's going to be rough.
You need to have a big box of tissues.
Yeah, get the jumbo pack.
Yeah, and stockpile them.
Yes, stockpile everything.
But yeah.
Just in case we have to self-isolate and all we can watch is Hotel Rwanda.
Yes, but it was amazing. Hotel Rwanda as well. It was nominated for at least one Oscar, 3 Oscars. It was nominated for. Don Cheadle, best leading actor. Sophie Okonedo, best supporting actress, and best writing. I don't know who won that year, but honestly, Don Cheadle was robbed. Let's see who won. Because why not? Oh, Jamie Foxx for playing Ray Charles, I want to say.
Yeah.
I
think so. Yeah.
I mean, fair enough. I think that's a good role.
Yeah, I mean, can't really argue too much.
No, we can't argue against that one.
No.
And then Cate Blanchett won for The Aviator for Best Supporting Actress. She was playing Katharine Hepburn. She's the only person to win an Oscar for playing an Oscar winner, Cate Blanchett.
Wow.
That I'm aware of. So that's a good piece of trivia for you.
Yep.
Write
that down for the next time you're on a game show, just in case.
Just in case, yeah. If I ever do a quiz, that might be one of my questions.
Yeah.
We should do a quiz.
We should do a quiz.
We should do a movie quiz.
We have to.
We should do a movie quiz.
I love my obscure facts.
Milo, I am not responding to that message.
What was it?
Do you want to come around and see what... I'm not reading it out. I'm not responding to that, Milo. I refuse. I refuse to respond to that message. But yeah, we've got very off track here.
Yeah, just a little.
But yeah, Death on the Nile, I'm really looking forward to. I might talk about it a bit more in upcoming movies.
Yeah.
Even though I've spoken about most of it here.
Yeah, just a little bit.
Just a little bit, so I might try and find another one. But it's only got 6.5 out of 10 on IMDb. That's
wrong.
It really is. I don't know how controversial we can be on air, so I'm going to wait for the song break to be a bit more controversial.
Okay.
As to why I think it only got that low.
I think I know what you're going to say.
So, for the four people watching who want to hear my controversial opinion, stay tuned.
If you're not listening already but want to hear this, watch our live stream on Facebook.
On Facebook, the HUDMovies Facebook page. I'll give you 20 seconds after I start the song to join the live stream and watch. One person's tuned out, so you don't want to hear my unpopular opinion.
That's fair.
So, next up is the actual controversial movie opinions.
Yes.
So, shall I go first?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to go first with Team Iron Man was the right team in Captain America Civil War. Because I said so and I'm right. So that's the end of my controversial opinion. No, I'm joking. It was, I mean, you see all these people on Twitter and on Tumblr and on social media going, oh, but, real life politics. And you're like, it's a superhero film. There's a man that gets so angry he turns green and starts smashing buildings, and there's somebody that can control you with a flick of her fingers.
Yeah, and I've got to say that, the whole which side are you on with Civil War, people get so aggressive about it.
It split the Marvel internet fandom in two. Milo says I'm right and I should say it. Thank you, Milo. This is why we allow you on the radio show.
You agree?
If you turn up.
But no, I do agree with you there. I mean, when I was first getting into Marvel, when I watched that, I was very much on Captain America's side because I was like 12.
You were 2016. You wouldn't have been 12.
Okay, fine, I was 16, but I acted like I was 12.
Yeah.
You think I know how to count.
7.
But yeah, and it's like, as I've gotten older, I was just sort of thinking, I mean, yeah, Captain America's stance is more idealistic.
Yeah, but we don't...
But it's not
really an
practical.
Ideal world.
Yeah.
Milo's Team Thor, just having a bath in a lightning puddle. Good stuff.
Yep.
Yeah, I can get behind that.
Yeah, same.
I can get behind that. But, I mean, for the 3 people who haven't watched Civil War, considering it was the biggest film of 2016, I think, definitely, it grossed well over $1 billion. The whole thing is that, there's an event in Lagos, I think. Definitely,
I don't remember.
Definitely an African country. And then because Scarlet Witch doesn't contain an explosion, it kills a load of Wakandans, and then they start pushing for a superhero registration act so that you can only act as superheroes with the express permission of a council set by the UN.
Yeah, it's sort of like having them in a similar position as, say, like the army, or any other
basically
sort of like government-led program,
or the UN Peacekeeping Force, that you can only act with the express permission of the council that would have been set by the 117 countries of the United Nations. But, so that's the side that Iron Man is on. I would like it known, for the people who've listened before, I know I'm a big Iron Man fan, but that's not the reason why I was on Team Iron Man. I did think that Team Iron Man had the right idea. The fact that it was Team Iron Man was another point entirely. And so Iron Man thinks that they should be put in check, because essentially, apart from Wanda, Scarlet Witch, they're all American. So it's basically...
And also to have like a group of people who can do pretty much anything that they want at any time.
They're essentially a paramilitary group.
We like to believe that these people are all very moral.
Ooh, Milo's coming in with the controversial thing.
But you can't let people that have so much power just use it however they like. And I did understand Captain America's stance that if you're relying on government processes, that can take too long. Maybe the threat will have already been devastating by then. And I do get that. But also, from a more practical standpoint, they are putting America in a dystopia otherwise. Because everyone just has to cope with whatever the hell these big superheroes do, and then they just leave New York in a mess and say, okay, well, we've done our stuff, see you later.
Poor New York. No, Milo, it's not a spicy take. I was just waiting for Kezia to stop. I am going to read it out. This is from Milo, so here goes. Minorities that are being used as collateral damage decided, we don't like this, please stop. And Captain America was like, but my freedom.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, can't deny that.
Can't deny that, But, you had... But then, in the film, you had these battle lines drawn, when essentially it was just Iron Man versus Captain America.
Yeah.
In the whole argument sense. But then you had them forming battle lines and...
Yeah, and creating teams and recruiting their little crews to have this massive fight.
Hot take... Ant-Man wouldn't have been on Team Cap if he knew what it was all about.
I don't really know that much about Ant-Man, to be honest. He doesn't interest me.
I love the Ant-Man films, but if he'd been told about, if you register as a superhero, you can do all of this, and you'll be able to see your daughter, possibly, I reckon he would have been like, oh yeah, that sounds good.
Yeah.
When basically his introduction in Captain America Civil War was that he was essentially kidnapped by Hawkeye and just told to suit up at the airport fight.
Yeah.
And was just told something about some psycho assassins. That's a quote. I'm not calling assassins psycho, so if any assassins are listening...
we love you.
We love you.
But, I do struggle a lot more now saying that, you are completely in the right, you're completely in the wrong, because as an adult, I can see the pros and cons of each side.
Yeah,
whereas as a 16-year-old, I was just like, no, freedom.
Yeah.
We hate the government.
Yeah, I
still hate the government.
We still hate, we love the government.
Oh, yeah.
Just in case you're listening, Mr. Prime Minister Man.
Because
we know you're a big fan of this show.
Listens every week.
You listen every week, and whichever minister's self-isolating because she has coronavirus.
Oof.
Nadine, I think it is. Ironically, the health minister. This isn't a politics show. This is a movies show.
Yes, this is a movie show.
But no, I can see the points that Captain America was trying to make.
Yeah, but it just wasn't
the Accords,
right way.
the Sokovia Accords, as they ended up calling them.
Yeah.
Weren't perfect.
No.
But
you have to start somewhere. Things rarely start off perfectly.
You had the sort of more level-headed characters in sort of Black Widow, who's seen both sides. Vision, who's literally just a computer.
Yeah.
On Team Iron Man, and then you think, well, who have you got, Team Cap? Your buddy.
True. It is true. I do agree with you. But I think the fandom do need to stop making out that it's quite as clear-cut.
Yeah, it's not clear-cut. Nothing is clear-cut in life.
No.
And that's what I think I like about the film.
Yeah.
It's not my favourite Marvel film, but I think the fact that they tried to do the whole, but neither side is right, and to be fair, the film stopped being about the Accords as soon as the airport fight was over.
Yeah.
It then became about Bucky and whatever his face was, Zemo, trying to destroy the Avengers.
Yeah.
But
yeah, I do agree with you there.
Yeah. Milo saying Ant-Man is me if I stumbled into superpowers, and there needed to be time for the Accords to be adjusted to deal with large-scale threats and such. I agree, and I think it's been a while since I've watched it, so I'll have to rewatch it. But there is the line of, if we sign it now, we can change it at a later date, rather than it being forced on us.
The thing is, with any sort of legal thing that changes the roles and responsibilities a person has, think about, say, giving women the vote. Yes, white women got the vote, and we were all rejoicing about that, but still, there was the stigma still with them, but then there's all the women of colour that didn't get the vote until years and years and years later. And it's while it sucks that you can't start off with everyone and have everything perfect, starting somewhere is better than starting nowhere at all. So I do get that.
Yeah.
So my unpopular opinion, which I've slightly come up with on the spot. It's still an opinion I hold. I was just a little unprepared. It's been a bit of a week. Donnie Darko is a good film for what it is. For those of you who don't know Donnie Darko, it has a fond place in my heart because I watched it when I was younger. But it's some very strange film about this boy who gets visited by his crazy rabbit imaginary friend sort of person about how he needs to save the world, pretty much. And it's very strange. It will definitely mess with your head a little bit watching parts of it. It's confusing and it's weird, but that is part of where its strengths lie, I think. It's not trying to be some big Hollywood blockbuster thriller film. It's very upfront with how strange it is. And I think, I'm not saying it's a cinematic masterpiece, but I think we should, give it credit where it's due. It did something different.
Yeah.
And, it's not for everyone.
No.
But it's not an awful film.
No, it is what it is.
Yeah.
I've not watched it.
I have it on DVD.
Of course you do. You technological troglodyte.
That's me.
Who doesn't like streaming sites.
I do, I just don't like having to pay for everything.
That's fair.
I've got my dad's Netflix account, and that is good enough for me.
So, that was the controversial opinions, unless you've got anything else to say about Donnie Darko?
No, I just watched it as a little tiny kid, probably before I should have, and I liked it.
You've always been tiny. So, next up, upcoming movies, and I'm going to go on about the one that I went on about earlier, because somehow, even though this is a radio show that I have planned now for 8 weeks, I forgot what segments we do. So, Death on the Nile, the sequel to the 2017 movie Murder on the Orient Express, with Kenneth Branagh returning as Hercule Poirot, and returning to direct as well. Returning to direct. You have, while on vacation on the Nile, Hercule Poirot must investigate the murder of a young heiress. Spoiler alert, the butler did it. No, he didn't. I don't think there's a butler in Death on the Nile. But again, like I said, there's the amazing cast. There's Rose Leslie. What was Rose Leslie? And the name's familiar. Is she? She was Jon Snow's wildling. Egret in Game of Thrones.
She was in this really weird robot film. Morgan, I think it was called.
Chappie?
No, not
Morgan?
I'm sure it was called Morgan or something like that. Look at... Yeah,
Yeah.
Morgan.
Morgan. Oh.
That film was strange.
Oh, didn't it have, wasn't it Ridley Scott involved in some
I don't
sense
know.
or another as well? Let's just...
But yeah, if you like
Yeah.
films that make you go, whoa.
Yeah, Ridley Scott
that's
produced
a
it.
good one.
Anya Taylor-Joy in it as... Oh, Michelle Yeoh. I love Michelle Yeoh. But yeah...
If you want to watch it, I have it on DVD.
Of course you do. But yeah, so like I said, the cast as well. Tom Bateman is returning as well as Book from Murder on the Orient Express. Yeah, Jennifer Saunders, French and Saunders returning. They should be good. We know what Jennifer Saunders is like from Shrek 2 as her amazing turn as the fairy godmother. So, I mean, yeah, like we were saying, I really enjoyed the first one, the Murder on the Orient Express. So I am really looking forward to Death on the Nile. Hopefully, it's going to be that they end up doing all of them. I hope it's not just one or two.
Or at least do the biggest ones.
At least do the biggest ones. Yeah, there were some that, you know, the platinum blonde in the library or something. I think that's a Miss Marple.
Yeah, I think so.
But you know, there are always more than you think.
Yeah.
And you know, you go back and rewatch them, like on ITV3, who should just bite the bullet and call themselves ITV Poirot.
This is true.
Because that's pretty much all they show.
Yeah.
Who always have that.
There are definitely a lot that I'd like to see how they reimagine them.
Yeah.
Because, like, as I've said, I've watched all the Poirot versions.
You mean this David Suchet?
That's what I meant. I mean, he is Poirot. To me.
Yeah.
I've watched all the David Suchet as Poirot versions. Who knows what my mouth's doing right now?
Who knows?
And so, yeah, like, while I think a lot of them, I would still prefer the Suchet versions.
Yeah.
Because I've grown up with them since I was born, pretty much.
I mean, that's fair.
But I think it would be very interesting to see what they do with some of them.
Yeah.
And, yeah, because even if at the end of the day I say, you know what, I still prefer Suchet, if they're going to do the cinematography anything like Murder on the Orient Express...
Yeah, let's see. I wonder if it's the same cinematographer.
Beautiful.
Let's see if it's the same cinematographer that's doing it. Cinematography by Haris Zambalukos. Zambalukos?
I don't know.
I didn't know.
Mamma Mia.
He did, yeah. So the cinematographer and Thor, because that was
because Mamma Mia and Thor are exactly the same.
exactly the same.
So
but no, they were very good. He was the director of photography for Murder on the Orient Express. So I don't know if that's an upgrade from to be cinematographer from director of photography.
I'm not sure.
Me neither.
Oh, did Cinderella as well. I take it that's the live action. That was a very beautiful film.
Kenneth Branagh. So he seems to work with Kenneth Branagh quite a lot.
I mean, this happens a lot.
It does happen, you know. But yeah, Thor, he was the director of photography for Thor. Jack Ryan Shadow Recruit that Kenneth Branagh also did. Cinderella. I think he directed it, Kenneth Branagh. I know he was involved. Yeah, he did direct it as well. The Jack Ryan film. He is a very versatile director, Kenneth Branagh. He's not one to stick to one particular style, because he's also done Artemis Fowl. I know there's some controversy about that they're not quite following how Artemis Fowl was in the books.
I mean, I don't know much about it.
I was never a fan of the Artemis Fowl books.
No.
So if anybody listening can tell us about them,
you can come on next week.
You can come on next week, yeah. Feel free to tell us how bad it's gonna be. I don't know. But yeah, he's also worked on Batman Begins as well. Duran Duran.
But yeah, it'll be very interesting to see.
It will be.
And I do look forward to it.
Yeah. So, Kezia, what upcoming movie are you excited for?
Well, I will preface this by saying I don't really know very much about the plot. I've just seen the trailers and they look very nice. But the personal history of David Copperfield. Again, I can't tell you much about the plot because I've just seen a few clips from trailers, but it looks like a very beautiful, colourful film. And yeah, I wish I had a bit more to say. But yeah, it looks like it could be good. And that is coming out on the 8th of May, apparently.
As long as it is not delayed because of the coronavirus.
Yeah.
Which we
Just
will...
wash your hands, people.
Just wash your hands. I nearly swore then. We'll talk a bit more about the coronavirus delaying films because it seems to be delaying a few films in movie news section next.
Yes.
So, movie news. And first up, Karen Kusama is going to make a Dracula film for Blumhouse after the success of The Invisible Man reimagining. It's going to be a modern-day retelling of Dracula. That should be interesting.
Yeah, sounds good.
Because The Invisible Man is doing really well.
Yeah.
Obviously, it's not going to be like an Endgame style box office hit, but it's making money.
Yeah.
And in our capitalist society, that's all that you need to make more movies. Although this should be interesting. Hopefully, it's not like the BBC Dracula, where it started out really well and then for no reason they jumped to modern settings and it just ruined it. Did you watch it?
I don't think so. If I did, I blacked it out.
It was on over New Year's.
No, I didn't.
The first episode was amazing. Absolutely amazing. Second episode was all right. You know, wasn't as good as the first one. And then the third one, for no reason at all, they just jumped it to modern settings and had Dracula in a nightclub for no reason. Commit one way or the other.
Yeah, I do like the idea of bringing these older stories into modern day, especially stuff like Dracula, because, I mean, immortal vampires, it makes sense.
Yeah.
But I feel if you're going to do it, don't just randomly do it halfway through. You need to establish something earlier on.
Yeah.
That's how you're going to be doing things. Because otherwise it's a bit of a kick in the face to people who are expecting something more traditional with it.
I mean, also, considering how badly they handled it, considering it was Mark Gatiss and Stephen Moffat who did the modern-day Sherlock, you know, so they know how to modernise a Victorian setting. I know that season 4 wasn't well received.
I'll be honest, I've never particularly followed the BBC Sherlock.
Fair enough. It was good. I liked it. Coronavirus time. Peter Rabbit sequel is going to be rescheduled, the release, because of coronavirus. Apparently the bunny has it, so can't turn up to the premiere.
Oh, God, that sucks.
Joking. I'm joking. I was making a joke. But obviously No Time to Die was pushed back as well to November.
I mean, like, the thing is, with more, like, live-action films, like No Time to Die, I can understand things there because you need to be in a space with a lot of people for a large amount of time, but I'm pretty sure most of the characters in Peter Rabbit 2 are CGI.
Yes.
So I'm a little bit confused as to...
I think it's just the release. They've filmed it. It's ready to be released. It's just obviously that...
Oh, yeah, people aren't going to want to be...
People aren't going to be able to in close proximity.
If you wash your hands, you'll be
That's why this radio show isn't on next week, because I don't want to be in close proximity to anybody. Now, again, I am joking.
Yeah. Wash your hands.
Just wash your hands. Don't stockpile tissues, because the whole point is other people need the tissues as well, so just buy one pack.
If you're a drama nerd, wash your hands to Lady Macbeth's out damn spot speech.
Yep.
If you're an emo... do it for Black Parade until you get to Beaten and the Damned.
Beaten and the Damned. If you like Wham, it's the first phase of Wake Me Up Before You Go Go. So from Jitterbug until they start singing properly. If you're a patriot, it's the first two verses of God Save the Queen.
Ew.
If you're boring, it's the first two verses of Happy Birthday.
So yeah,
just count
wash your
20. If you're a Star Wars fan, it's Anakin and Obi-Wan's "I have brought peace, freedom, justice, and security to my new empire."
I love that.
Your new empire?
Brilliant. But
Anakin, the Chancellor, is evil. Or from my point of view, the Jedi are evil. Well, then you are lost. You get up to that bit, that's 20 seconds.
Yep. But yeah, wash your hands, soap and water.
I think the I have the high ground bit as well is 20 seconds as well. So,
because coronavirus, scientifically speaking, is the virus cells are coated in a sort of fatty shell.
This is very fun, watching a drama student trying to explain this.
No, but they're covered in like a layer of fat.
Yeah.
And they can't really survive without that. So washing your hands breaks down the fat and then corona be gone.
It's just hygienic.
Yeah, you should be washing your hands anyway.
Why is it now that people are like, oh, wash your hands? Wash your hands anyway, okay? Wash your goddamn hands.
Yeah.
I apologise if I'm not allowed to say that on air, but it's a tame swear word.
Yeah, but soap and water is best.
Soap and water.
Hand sanitizer.
Even the mechanical action. The mechanical action of washing your hands. I'm going off on a tangent here.
No,
the mechanical action of washing your hands gets rid of 98% of the germs on your hand.
It's true.
The soap, the hand sanitizer, the whatever you use, Nutella to wash your hands, it only gets rid of an extra 1%. It's the mechanical action. Wash like that, you know. Get the whole diagram from the NHS website.
Yep.
And get the one where Eric from Sex Education tells you to wash your hands, you dirty pig.
Yeah. And don't buy face masks unless you're actually sick, because you just keep touching your face for no reason.
Exactly.
And you look a bit like an idiot. And some disabled people can genuinely need them in their day-to-day life. And the more you're stockpiling things like face masks and gloves,
the NHS.
Yeah, the more you're stockpiling on those things, the more expensive they become. Yeah. And then for the disabled and chronically ill people who do need them on a daily basis anyway, it then becomes unaffordable.
It does.
So just
don't be an idiot.
Yeah, stop being an idiot. Wash your hands. Catch it, bin it, kill it.
Follow the old British thing of keep calm and carry on.
Yeah.
You know? It's times like that when you really need to do that.
Because really, corona isn't that much different to like a bad flu or something.
Exactly. It's fine.
The only people that it has any serious threat to are like immunocompromised people, children, the elderly, people with disabilities and conditions.
And even
so just wash your hands to protect those other people.
And even then,
stop
it's
screaming.
Still not as bad as a bad flu.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, on average, 600 people per year die in the UK of flu complications, but pretty much all of those people are generally disabled people. Yeah. Just wash your hands and be considerate of others. It's very unneeded panic, and it's putting at risk people more at risk.
It's going to put more people at risk with you panicking.
Stop stockpiling toilet roll. Yeah. Some people actually need it.
Yes. Right, back to the movie news.
Yes.
Thor Love and Thunder is going to feature the Guardians of the Galaxy. Vin Diesel accidentally released.
I'm really not looking forward to that.
I'm not looking forward to either Love and Thunder or Guardians of the Galaxy 3.
So. I mean, I never particularly liked the Guardians of the Galaxy. I respect people who do. It's just my personal opinion. It didn't get me.
No, visually it's really great.
Yeah, visually beautiful.
Yeah.
But, you know, it was never my thing. And Thor Ragnarok, I've made clear how I feel about Thor Ragnarok. And I'm just a little upset because, I mean, like, yes, the first Thor film was cheesy as hell, but I really liked it.
I really liked it as well. Parasite has become the highest grossing foreign language film of all time in the UK.
Damn.
That's good.
That is good.
Yeah. James Wan is producing a new monster movie for Universal. He did the Conjuring films, I think.
Oh my god, there's going to be a prequel series about the live-action Beauty and the Beasts, Gaston and LeFou.
Yep, and the gay scene is still going to be cut.
Oh my god, Disney, please stop. Make something new for a change, Jesus.
Taika Waititi is directing 2 Roald Dahl adaptations for Netflix. He's going to do a Charlie and the Chocolate Factory and then a film just on the Oompa Loompas.
Oh, that will be fun.
I nearly said Minions then.
No, they're not Minions.
They're not Minions.
The Minions wish they were Oompa Loompas.
Yeah. Chris Evans, actor Chris Evans, and director Scott Derrickson are teaming up for a Bermuda Triangle thriller.
Okay.
He directed Doctor Strange, Scott
Oh,
Derrickson.
okay.
What else? Oh yeah, and then we've said about Antonio Banderas joining Tom Holland in Uncharted last week, didn't we?
Yeah, I think so.
Yep. And then Roberto Orsi is writing a new Spider-Man spin-off after writing the amazing adaptation that was Amazing Spider-Man 2, which caused a franchise reboot.
Oof.
Oof. So they clearly have not learned their lesson.
Clearly not.
No. So, all that is left to do is say goodbye from Kezia.
Goodbye.
Aaron can say hi.
Oh,
He's just walked in, eating... What are you eating? Lemon drizzle cake.
Ooh.
Yeah, there's a cake sale going on out. When's it going on until? 4? It's going on until 4, so if you want, go and have some cake.
If you want to bring some cake to Ladybird.
Yeah, bring some cake to
grab
Ladybird
some.
for us. No, for yourselves, but be prepared to share. So, just, yeah, thank you very much for listening.